Hi, welcome to our YouTube channel, Mudline Church of the Nazarene, where we go through the New Testament. Welcome to episode 31 of our journey through the New Testament. When we're done with this, we'll move on to other topics that I think are relevant for modern day Christians, but we're kind of going through the New Testament. And last week we introduced 1 John, Johannine literature to everyone. And there's an issue in 1 John that I thought I'd take a little bit of time on today. If you read, don't get too far into 1 John, you'll read that if anyone claims to be without sin, that's the line. And people then go off in probably an improper direction once they read that. They think that there are people in the ancient world, the early Christians, who claimed that they'd never done anything wrong, that their life was perfect in every way, shape, or form. That's a mistake. And that's not what's going on in 1 John. And I think if we understand what's going on there, we'll understand more what's going on in our world. It's not that there was a group of people who claimed that they didn't do anything wrong. It's that they had been impacted by their culture. In that world, it was the larger Greek culture, which separated the physical world from the spiritual world. The physical world was all evil. There was something going on called Gnosticism. Gnosticism believed that everybody has a divine spark within them. And if you could just get that divine spark out, that would be what you would need to live the divine life. It was planted within you. And so how that worked out in real life for them was this. Anything that they did, they could, get drunk. They could have an affair. They could do whatever they want, and they would say, well, that's just my body. My spirit is still pure because I still have this access to the divine deep within. My body doesn't touch it. And so it wasn't that they were claiming they never did anything wrong. It's that what the stuff that they did didn't impact what's inside. Therefore, they were without sin. It was this dichotomy between the physical and the spiritual that led them down a wrong path. Now, as I'm talking, some of you might be thinking, wait a minute, that sounds a little bit like our world today, and I agree. We have erected this pretty strong divide between the physical and the spiritual. Think how many people you see say, I'm a very spiritual person. Or, gee, I'm surprised he robbed a liquor store. He's such a nice guy. We have this thing where that we just need to express whatever is deep within us, and that expression itself is good. Well, here's two things about 2,000 years of Christian thought. The first one is this, is that we have taught for years that what is naturally within us is not necessarily good. All of us battle something. Some of us battle greed, some of us battle lust, some of us battle power or critical nature, host of things. We have said that all of us are born flawed, we're corrupted. And if we're going to live a successful life, if we're going to live a holy life, at a lot of different levels, we're going to have to successfully overcome that which is naturally within us, not just naturally express it. The second thing Christianity has always taught is we shouldn't probably be dividing us up between a physical world and a spiritual world. We are unified, body, soul, mind, spirit. The stuff that we do outwardly reflects who we are inwardly. And what we are inwardly will always make its way to the surface. We cannot say that we are good or that we are divine somehow while the outward self, where our body is doing things that bring harm to others or disrepute to God. So a lot that's gone on today is not that new. A lot of things you'll hear about, we're in a brave new modern world, and it's nothing more than a rehash of 2,000-year-old philosophies that have been tried before and have come up short. We're in one of those cases now. So when you read in 1 John that someone says they're without sin, they're not claiming that their lives are perfect. They're claiming that the stuff they did on the outside never touched what goes on inside. And that whole way of thinking is false. It's been done before, even as we still try to do it today. Anyway, we're glad that you've joined us. Join us next week. We're going to be talking about the book of Revelation. That is a highly misunderstood book. And so even as we do, listen, we would like you to like this video, subscribe to the channel, keep joining us, ask a question. We'll be happy to answer it, and we'll look forward to seeing you back here next week.